Okay. We have completed previous time related to the antenna aperture. Okay, and we have written the relation between the antenna aperture and directivity and beam area. Lambda square is equal to effective aperture into beam area. And with the help of that equation, we have defined third equation of the directivity, and that is directivity D is equal to 4 pi into AE divided by lambda square. So, three equations are there of the directivity. First one is related to the pattern. D is equal to maximum power pattern divided by the average power pattern is the directivity. Second equation is D is equal to 4 pi divided by omega A. And third equation is related to the directivity from aperture. Directivity D is equal to 4 pi into AE is the effective aperture divided by lambda square. So these three equations we have seen, and related to that, some examples also we have completed. Next is radio communication link. Uh, this particular part is very important as far as antenna is concerned and antenna design parameters are concerned. Okay, so that's why we have to bear in mind this particular part in better way. We can say, see, transmitter and receiver are at the distance r. We can say transmitter antenna and receiving antenna are at distance r. In between transmitting and receiving antenna is there. Okay, so it is denoted by the small r, we can say. uh, Assuming lossless and matched antenna, latest transmitter feed power is pt. Okay, so one thing we have to keep in mind that whenever we are going to derive any derivation, assumptions are there, and assumptions related to the lossless antenna, and it is perfectly matched, we can say. Okay, so antenna doesn't have any lossy, we can say, part, and again, whatever the loss is taking place because of the matching network, matching is also perfect. So these two assumptions are there. Let us transmitter feed a power of pt to a transmitting antenna of the effective aperture of aet. So effective aperture of the antenna is aet, and uh, pt is the power transmitted or power coupled to the transmitting antenna. So two things we have decided here, that is pt is power transmitted and the effective aperture of the transmitting antenna is aet. At a distance r, receiving antenna of the effective aperture of aer intersecting some of the power radiating by the transmitting antenna. Now whatever the power radiated by the transmitting antenna is radiated through the whatever the pattern is there. Okay, pattern of that antenna, and obviously it is towards the receiving antenna. Okay, then power is intercepted by the receiving antenna. Receiving antenna has its effective aperture is aer. Okay, then the power received by the receiving antenna is pr. Assuming that the moment the transmitting antenna is isotropic, that is assuming for the moment transmitting antenna is a isotropic antenna, means it radiates equally well in all direction, and it is the hypothetical concept, it is the assumption only. So transmitting antenna is radiating isotropically, that is our assumption. Second assumption, we can say power per unit area available at the receiving antenna is now power density at the receiving antenna. That depends on obviously whatever the distance between the transmitting antenna and receiving antenna. It depends on the power radiated. It depends, like sr is equal to pt, that is power transmitted by the transmitting antenna divided by 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square, it is the power density available at the receiving antenna. So this is the first equation we have written here, and related to the radio communication link. Got my point? Two antennas are there, one is transmitting and the receiving, placed at a distance of small r. Assumption is there, that is antenna is lossless and matching is perfect. Okay. After that, whatever the transmitting antenna is radiating isotropically, that is the thing we are going to add up, and according to that, power density available at the receiving antenna SR, we can write it is equal to PT, transmitted power divided by 4 pi r square, 4 pi r square. Okay, so now clear, it is clear up to this particular point, no problem at all. Okay, then transmitting power PT is radiated by the isotropic source, and power received per unit area at the receiving antenna is S is equal to PT divided by 4 pi r square. Also, same assumption is there for the receiving antenna also. Means antenna is ideal, lossless antenna, matching is perfect. That's why power received or the power density of that particular receiving antenna is PT divided by 4 pi r square. Power available to the receiving antenna PR is equal to S into AER. Okay, so power available at the receiving antenna is PR, or we can say received by the receiving antenna is PR, that is equal to S into AR, where S is the power density at the distance of, we can say, R from the transmitting antenna around the receiving antenna. Okay, so S is S into AER, where AER is the effective aperture of the receiving antenna. Transmitting antenna has an effective aperture of AET, and hence the directivity D is equal to 4 pi AER. Transmitting antenna has effective aperture of AET, and hence the directivity of D is equal to 4 pi AET divided by lambda square. 4 pi AET divided by lambda square is the directivity of the transmitting antenna. So the power available at the receiver is D times greater, D times greater, or we can write PR is equal to power at the receiving antenna is equal to SAER into 4 pi AET divided by lambda square. Okay, what happened here, we are going to write the directivity of the transmitting antenna, gain of the transmitting antenna. So gain of the transmitting antenna must be multiplied, and that's why they have multiplied here with the SAER. Okay, now substitute whatever the value of S. S is the power density, PT divided by 4 pi r square. So PT divided by 4 pi r square, AER 4 pi AET divided by lambda square. 4 pi gets cancelled, and that's why PR divided by PT is equal to AER into AET divided by r square into lambda square is the Friis formula. Okay, so this is known as the radio communication link or the Friis formula. Okay, so what are the different terminologies we have used? How we have given the names, that is, it is obviously it is in flow, we can say PT is the transmitted power, PR is the received power, it is in watts only. AER is the efficiency of aperture of the receiving antenna in meter square. AET is the effective aperture of the transmitting antenna, and it is in meter square. R is the distance between transmitting and receiving antenna, and lambda is the wavelength. So it is very simple formula we have derived here. Many times we are going to ask this particular. I am going to ask this particular in the exams also. Okay, so PR divided by PT is equal to AET divided by AER. AET into AER divided by R square into lambda square is the freeze transmission formula. Now what will be the dimension of the this particular PR divided by PT? It is dimensionless because PR divided by T both are in watts, and that's why it is dimensionless. Also we can write it from the AER and AET also. M square into M square, that is M raised to 4, divided by R square, that is distance is measured in R, meter square, and wavelength is also measured in meter raised to 4. Meter raised to 4 divided by meter raised to 4 is dimensionless. Okay. So this is the small derivation we have seen. Many more examples are there related to this particular example. Okay. So you have to keep in mind this particular thing, very, very important. Okay. So some assumptions we made, we have written power density at the receiving antenna. Okay. We have written then whatever the power received at the receiving antenna is equal to S into AER, and from that gain of the transmitting antenna we have added in terms of the directivity, because lossless antenna is nothing but gain of the lossless antenna is nothing but the directivity and gain are same if the antenna is lossless. So this particular part you have to keep in mind. Then so this particular example, PR divided by PT is equal to AER into AET divided by R square into lambda square is the equation for, or also we can calculate different parameters from this. Okay, one of the all the parameters, if you know one of the parameter unknown, then one can calculate this particular value. This is very important because antenna communication link, or the radio, why it is known as the radio communication link, many more parameters from the antennas one can calculate with the help of this particular formula. Are you comfortable with the Price formula? It is very, very simple. That is power received by the receiving antenna divided by power transmitted by the transmitting antenna is equal to aperture of the transmitting antenna into aperture of the receiving antenna divided by square of distance between two antennas into the signal wavelength square. That is whatever the signal transmitted wavelength is there, square of that wavelength also. AER divided by AET, AR into AET divided by R square into lambda square. Okay. Shall we move towards the next? So next part is related to the antenna height. Antenna height is nothing but size of the antenna. We have to keep in mind size of the antenna. It's not the height at which height we are going to install the antenna. It's only the size of the antenna, dimension of the antenna. Now dimension of the antenna, structure to structure, different dimensions, means how to measure this particular dimension. So each and every antenna dimensions can be measured in the different way. Means we can say that dimension of the dipole antenna is the length only. Dimension of the parabolic reflector, that is we have to take into consideration in different way. Helical antenna, it is we have to take into different way. So each and every antenna height or the antenna, we can say the dimension is the different. In this case also the dimensions are, as we have seen, effective aperture and the physical aperture. Physical aperture is nothing but whatever the aperture we can see with our open eye, that particular is nothing but the physical aperture. In case of the horn antenna, width and breadth of that particular, height of that particular horn is nothing but the physical. But the effective aperture is also there, and effective aperture gives us the information, that is whatever the received power by that particular antenna depends on the effective aperture. In antenna height case also, one thing we have to keep in mind, that is it has also two parameters like effective height and the physical height. Always height is very important in case of we can say whatever the intercepted electromagnetic waves at the receiving antenna, voltage generated from that is depends on what, that is V is the voltage generated from the received signal from the received antenna is equal to E, that is the field available around that antenna, into H. H is the height of the antenna. So this particular is the very simple example one can quote, and that particular example gives us the information about how much is the voltage generated from the whatever the intercepted, what we can say, the intercepted dimension, the intercepted electromagnetic waves of that receiving antenna. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind that what is the difference between the effective height and the physical height? Difference is that here they have shown the dipole. Dipole is nothing but two poles are connected to the transmission line, and transmission line is this particular is the transmission line they have shown here, that is average current is average current diagram they have shown here. So in this, whatever this thing is the dipole only, they have shown the direction of the current, they have shown direction of the current, length or the distance or the height, or we can say the dimension of this particular dipole is L is equal to lambda by 2. L is equal to lambda by 2. Now, if whatever the input signal we are going to apply to that dipole is also the lambda by 2 is lambda, wavelength of the lambda, then sinusoidal current distribution is there, that like the, we can say, first particular this diagram. Okay, so it is a sinusoidal current distribution. As the current distribution is sinusoidal, in this particular case, what happens? Average current we have to calculate, and that is nothing but the effective height of the antenna. So if the current distribution is the sinusoidal, then 0.64 is the average, we can say, the current, and average current is nothing but means effective height, HE is equal to 0.64 HP, where HE is the effective height and HP is the physical height. So where the physical height is lambda by 2, and as we know that effective height is equal to 0.64 into HP, physical height. Second example that is shown in second diagram, that is B. Dipole length of zero point 0.1 lambda means input applied to this is lambda, but dipole length we are going to increase. Dipole length we are going to increase, that is 10 times less than whatever the wavelength we are going to apply to that dipole. Okay, in that case, what happens? Distribution of the current is the triangular distribution. Okay, triangular distribution is there, and in case of the triangular distribution, what happens? The effective height is there, that is the 0.5 into HP. HE is equal to 0.5 into HP, so 50% only the effective height is there of that particular antenna. Means more radiations are taking place when the antenna is lambda by 2 and input applied is the wavelength, that is lambda, to that particular antenna. Distribution is the sinusoidal current distribution, and because of that we can say the more height, we can say the consumption, or we can say the useful height is there more and more in case of the uh, sinusoidal current distribution. And there tell you, and then one equation we have to carry out. Now, if we are going to connect the antenna, and which is, we can say, the matched antenna is there, and as it is a matched antenna, in any circuit we are going to connect, then whatever the voltage generated or the power generated is radiation resistance RR, we can say, and the V square. So one of the diagram you assume like source resistance is there, that source resistance is RR, and the radiation resistance is also RR. and in that particular case means signal is connected, also the antenna is connected. Okay, so complete we can say the circuit is there. In that particular complete circuit, power received we can say, or the power is equal to if the V is the input voltage, then matching is there. That's why source resistance Rs is equal to Rr. Okay, and because of that only, what happens? Whatever the voltage we are going to take into consideration is only V by 2. V by 2 because it is a voltage divider network of the same resistances. Whatever the voltage applied, that particular is divided into two resistances. Across one resistance, which is the source resistance, another resistance is the radiation resistance. Okay, so R across R it is V by 2 only. Then power we can calculate that particular is V square by 4 into RR. V square by 4 into RR. Okay, so this particular part you have to keep in mind. Then next thing is here we are going to calculate P. P is the power received, that is equal to S into AE, that is the power density divided into AE. E square by Z naught. E square by Z naught because Z naught is the intrinsic impedance. E square is the field square of the field into AE is the power received we can say. Then Z naught is the intrinsic impedance. HE effective height is equal to 4 and 5. Previous example I have told that is power is equal to P is equal to H square into E square divided by 4RR. RR is the radiation resistance, and from this example HE is equal to 2 into root RR into AE divided by Z naught square. So this is the equating these two examples we can calculate the effective height, and it is simple to small we can say the uh, these things are there only, equations are there and we have equated it and we have calculated the effective height is equal to 2 root RR into AE divided by Z naught. RR into AE divided by Z naught. Or either way, we can calculate the effective aperture or we can calculate the radiation resistance and minimum. Okay, so this is about the effective height. Keep in mind that if for the effective height, we are going to consider whatever the height of antenna and applied signal to that. Applied signal has its own property, that is whatever the wavelength of the frequency basically. So frequency is converted into wavelength and it is applied. If that antenna is lambda by 2 means input applied wavelength is the lambda by 2, it is sinusoidal. If it is less than lambda by 2, it is triangular. Okay, so in case of triangular 0.5 HP is the effective height, and in case of the sinusoidal it is 0.64 HP is the effective height. Okay, and by these two examples will also one or more time will take into consideration this particular part also. Now all about the antenna at a glance means whatever the things we have whatever the things we have discussed up till now, and this particular are related to the antenna and of antenna at the antenna, before the antenna and after the antenna means before the antenna towards the transmitter, toward the space and in that particular antenna, or we can say at the receiver side space, at the antenna and at the transmitter side. So antenna impedance is the very important part we have to take into consideration. Antenna has its own impedance, and that particular impedance must be matched with the transmission line and space also. Radiation resistance, it is the hypothetical we can say the value of the resistance, which means if the antenna is radiating the fields, okay, and how it is radiating the fields at that time, whatever the equivalent resistance will be there, that particular resistance is known as the radiation resistance. Okay, so antenna temperature is one of the parameter and it is related to the radiation resistance only. So physical quantities of the antenna, antenna size. In case of means as I told you, antenna height. Second thing is the antenna weight. Antenna weight means how weight that particular antenna is. bulky or means it is the part of the installation of the antenna. Current distribution, as I told, is it the triangular current distribution, is it the sinusoidal current distribution, or any other else. Then antenna transition, this particular is the antenna transition region where the whatever the electric field is there, or we can say the uh, voltage and current, in terms of voltage and current, whatever the quantities are there, these are coupled to the antenna, and antenna these are coupling towards the space, and these are covered into the field. Okay, so that's why in case of the field, we have seen all the parameters like field pattern, we can say e phi theta comma phi, e theta theta comma phi, and phase differences between them. Polarization, this polarization we have not discussed yet, but we will discuss this particular part one or another way. So polarization, I will for time being, I will tell you the polarization is nothing but the orientation of the electric field vector with respect to the ground, we can say, in case of the antenna. This particular part we have to keep in case of the antenna. Okay, so orientation of the electric field vector, as we are going to transmit the signal, as we are going to transmit the signal, how is the orientation of the electric field vector if we are taking into consideration ground as a reference, a reference. See, electric field vector is parallel with the ground, it is known as the parallel polarization, or we can say it is known as the horizontal polarization. Okay, if electric field vector is the perpendicular to the ground, then it is known as the vertical polarization also. Polarization has three different types, that is linear polarization, circular polarization, and the elliptical polarization. As means, assume that antenna is there and antenna is transmitting the electromagnetic fields. As it transmitting the electromagnetic field, electric field vector orientation is there as usual. Okay, so how that electric field vector orientation, that depends on the how antenna is installed. If it is placed vertically, if it is placed horizontally, if it is placed vertically, then vertical polarization, if it is placed horizontally, then horizontal polarization. In case of the wire antenna, we can say, okay, number of antennas, number of things will be there. Now, as it propagates, electromagnetic waves is propagating from the transmitting antenna towards the receiving antenna. As the propagation of the electromagnetic waves is there, orientation of the electromagnetic field vector is there. So in case of the linear polarization, it is only one, vertical or the horizontal, that is known as the linear polarization. In some antennas, what happens, that electric field vector is changing its direction as it propagates, and if the whatever the direction changed by the electric field vector, lotus of that will be as a circle, then it is known as the circular polarization. If it is elliptical, then it is known as the elliptical polarization. So three things we have clear here related to the polarization. Linear polarization, that is the vertical polarization, or the horizontal polarization, these are the linear polarization only. What is the significance of the polarization in case of the antenna? Because each and every antenna transmits the, we can say, electromagnetic waves, and this particular electromagnetic waves has the electric field and the magnetic field. As the electric field is there, electric field has the orientation according to, means whatever the orientation of the electric field may be, parallel with the ground, perpendicular with the ground. Okay, so in each and every case, we can say, if that electric field vector changing its orientation as it propagates, then we can say it's a circular polarization. Okay, so this is the part of the linear polarization, circular polarization, and elliptical polarization. One thing we have to keep in mind, that whatever the polarization of the transmitting antenna, that means the polarization of the receiving antenna. ट्रान्समिटिंग अँटेनाचं जे पोलरायझेशन स्टेट आहे, तीच पोलरायझेशन स्टेट रिसिव्हिंग अँटेनाची पाहिजे. तीच असेल तरच व्हॉट एव्हर द ट्रान्समिटेड सिग्नल्स आर देअर, these particular are completely received by that particular receiving antenna. Okay, so this thing we have to keep in mind related to the polarization. Okay, Power pattern, as we have discussed about the power pattern, and power pattern is nothing but radiated power from the antenna. How the pattern of that particular power around the antenna, that is known as the power pattern, we can say. Okay, so beam area through which the power is maximum. All other areas where the power is minimum, power is zero, we can say. So power occupied means beam area occupied by the power. That particular area is known as the beam area. As I told you, this particular beam area is having the phi plane, having the theta plane, and it's also we can say the unit is square degrees, unit is steradians, we have seen. Directivity is the how directional antenna is, that is decided by the directivity. And we have quoted more definitions like it is the uh, a ratio of the maximum power pattern to the average power pattern, or the maximum power density to the average power density, we can say. Also we have written the equation 4 pi divided by omega A is the directivity in terms of the beam area. We have also written the equation of the equation of the directly from the aperture, and it is d is equal to 4 pi ae divided by lambda square. Gain is the more realistic quantity in case of the antennas, and as we know that gain is lesser than the directivity, because we are going to consider the losses of the antenna in case of the gain. Gain is always less than the directivity. If the lossless antenna is there, directivity and gain are the one and same. We have also calculated the gain. For the calculation of the gain, we must need the antenna under test and the reference antenna whose gain is known to us, and that's why we have calculated also the gain of the antenna under test is equal to power transmitted by the antenna under test divided the power transmitted by the reference antenna into the gain of the reference antenna. That particular equation we have seen. Effective aperture, effective aperture, we have seen related to that is the um, physical aperture is always not equal to the effective aperture 80% or the 70% of that, and we have calculated the aperture efficiency also. Effective aperture is nothing but power received by the receiving antenna is there, and that particular is depends on the aperture or the effective aperture of the antenna. Radar cross section area is the different, we can say, the terminology, and we will take into consideration afterwards at any point. uh, okay, so these are the parameters we have seen. um, Yet I'm going to give you one assignment. Okay, so whatever the part we have completed related to that one particular assignment, I'm going to um, post. So in that particular assignment, simple means whatever we have seen this particular uh, whatever the PowerPoint presentation we have seen, whatever the covered in this particular lectures, these examples or these questions only asked. Also, some solved problems from whatever I have given to you. One of the solved problem Word file. That particular file has solved problems that these I asked, but understanding must be there. Only you don't write it blindly. Okay, if you have any problem, ask on the we can say the chat with the WhatsApp also. At the time of the lecture also you can chat and ask the these things. Uh, Related to the tools, whatever the tools we are going to use for the ISE, these are two tools we are going to use. One tool is assignment, and another tool is the MCQ. Okay, In 2 days I am going to upload the MCQ on Moodle. Okay, at that time also I will post you the things related to that, notice related to that, and you have to complete that particular assignment in 2 days. So for the ISC 1, whatever the marks are there, assignment and the in time completion of the assignment will get complete marks. Also the complete means 100% correct answers for the MCQs, you will get the 100 marks or the correct complete marks. Okay, in that way we will proceed further. Hello, all of you. Hello, 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 guys. Hello, students. Hello. Okay. Uh, Only 55 present today. Uh, okay, we'll see the next part. Fields from oscillating dipole, and this particular thing is very essential, or we can say how radiations are taking place from the antenna. That is covered in this particular we can say uh, fields from oscillating dipole. I am going to uh, send you a video related to the fields from oscillating dipole, how these particular radiations are taking place from the antenna, how the fields are taking place from the antenna. That particular part is we are going to consider. We will start with this thing, that is we'll consider here we can say the uh, one conductor, that is the dipole conductor we can say, which has two poles internally. It has means whatever the connections are there, we are going to apply positive and negative. That is the thing. Okay, so uh, what happens in case of antenna, this particular whatever the positive and negative poles are there, these are going to reach at the ends of the antenna, because antenna has its we can say the limited structure. At it reaches at the end, again it must be reverse back to another end, reaches at the end, reverse back to another end. And we know that in positive and negative, whatever the positive and negative poles are there, or we can say the this particular is the positive, this particular is the negative. Field of line is there, and that particular field of line from the positive uh, charge to the negative charge, from the positive to the negative charge, they are moving fast. That we have to keep in mind. So at this point, when they are reached at the end of the conductor, whatever this thing, that is the voltage, or we can say v dot dv by dt acceleration, that particular part is very huge. Voltage generated is very high, that v dot is a maximum here. Okay, and the field of line is there from positive to negative, positive to negative. So here at t is equal to 0, t is the time, t is equal to 0. This is electric field of line wavefront with the charge at the end of dipole. T is equal to 1 by 8 into T. Wavefront moves out as charge go in. So as it reaches at the tip of the conductor, then it moves reverse back. As it moves reverse back, so wavefront moves out as a charge go in this way. After that, third is there, that is T is equal to 1 by 4T. As charge passes midpoint from the field of line, cut cut the and lose it from this particular wavefront, cut and lose it. Okay, so here I is there, also V is there, but it is moderate. I is maximum when it reaches at the midpoint, V is 0 at this particular point, and then that particular is whatever the field of line is there, this is detached at T is equal to 3 by 8 into T. Okay, again these are moving upward negative and downward positive, and it reaches to the this thing, and field of line is there, that is direction of the field of line is upward side, because positive at the lower side and the negative at the upper side, and we are getting this particular is the, we can say, wavefront which is detached from the we can say conductor, detached from conductors. And this happens in how much time? That particular happens in 1 by 2t, 1 by 2t, that is we can say the only one half period of the time only it happens. Okay, so with the help of this particular is means frequency is very high, and these detaching fields are there, many more detaching fields are there from the antenna. And at t is equal to 0, t is equal to 1 by t is equal to 1 by 4, uh, and this particular release means you can see this particular part very well, that's why, and this particular part also. So, and this one is the last thing. Here is the dipole connected, where input is connected to the this particular is the transmission line, this particular is the dipole, we can say, and detachment of the whatever the fields are there, that is taking place here. Okay, so this is about means detachment of the fields are taking place, and these are as like अ, अगरबत्ती आपण जसं अगरबत्तीचं म्हणजे धूर असतो, तो धूर जसा डिटॅच होतो त्या अगरबत्तीपासून, लाइक दॅट ओनली these are detaching and moving away from that this particular antenna on both sides. And as we know that whatever the radiation pattern is there, radiation pattern is depends on in which area the fields are taking place, or the fields detached are more and more. So that particular is nothing but the radiation pattern of this antenna. Okay, so this is regarding the fields from oscillating dipole. Okay, so now it will stop, but you keep in mind that whatever the assignment I have given, you have to complete it up to the, I think, 14th. 4 is the today, 14th August. Before 14th August, you have to submit it on the Moodle. I will make there one place for submitting it. So you have to submit it there. Okay, we'll stop here.